place, and, well, that's about it. But I hope you enjoy it here.
I just raised my civic rank again. It won't be long before I'm...
Oh, so you made it through unscathed? Not long after all the trouble started going down, this person with a ghastly pale face attacked me. I thought I was a total goner. But then this total dreamboat with this huge sword came along and rescued me. I wish I could thank him somehow, but I have no idea where he went afterwards.
I was attacked by this mirage, and apparently, of course, I can't remember any of it. But it is really scary to think I might have stayed that way forever. I was attacked by this mirage, and apparently turned into a vampire. Of course, I can't, but it...
Keys, you say? A temple in the deep? Well, I believe I've heard of such a temple in the Besaid region, directly above us.
So, about this Besaid place.
It sounds like it's the continent that's directly above us.
Good. We won't do any falling to get there.
Be whatever it's called, here we come!
No jokes about BO this time? Oh, good.
The town seems to be back on its feet. Still, how can they care so little? Do they not mind their home in chains?
Yeah, I guess they just don't care unless it's actively hurting them, huh?
It's worse. Some of the poor fools are even thankful for it. They think it's Bahamut that will keep them safe from vampires.
Maybe some people just think life under Federation rule is easier.
But is it truly easier? When Bahamut takes control, they promise you'll remain free. But that's not true at all.
What does that mean?
The whole catch about joining the Federation is that you're asked to become an architect. Someone willing to build a better tomorrow.
Okay, but how do they convince people?
Well, part of the appeal is that it gives you something to be proud about, but that's far from the only incentive. You see, once you're an architect, you get to live in a cathedral and perform your duties amidst the utmost luxury. You're kept far away from war and strife, never wanting for food, and free to live out the rest of your days in leisure.
Oh, dude! No wonder so many people are lining up for the job!
Sign me up for the pampered and well-fed crew!
Yeah, but don't you think it sounds a little too good to be true?
Exactly. Any sane person can see it.
Yeah. No one should fall for that stuff, right?
I can't imagine what goes through their heads!
But if you voice your suspicions, or reject their luxury, the Federation pushes you right to the bottom. You become dead to the world.
Yes, we've seen them. People like that.
So no one wants to dig deeper, or think harder about it. They nod their heads, oblivious to what it means. Better to take the less complicated path than justify it by only hearing the things you want to hear. It's truly maddening when you consider it. The consequences are right there, but they refuse to look.
Unfortunately, Celeste, there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to think things through. It really is so sad.
How very true. But hey, once you've made up your mind about stuff, it's not an easy thing to back down. Folks would say, you know, oh yeah, they'd say you lack confection.
Wow, Mom! That does sound like a soul-crushing dilemma. I wouldn't the one to give up candy.
I've heard some dumb things, but rate it on a scale of dumb to 10, that right there was the dumb Evan. Oh, and I think the phrase he was looking for, it's lacking conviction.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, me too.
Then why did you say it?
You are a funny bunch.
Hey, there's only one weirdo around, and that's this guy.
Huh? But she said funny. And I am not weird.
Oh, you are both weird.
What?
Dude!
Yay! I'm the only one who's not the weird!
Oh, sorry. You're included.
What?
By the by, do you buy into this so-called Crimson Prophecy?
You have to keep in mind that we remember almost nothing about Grimoire. Azure, Crimson, all this prophecy stuff, it just sounds like jibber-jabber to us.
Yeah, this is my first time in Grimoire too, so I don't get it either.
Yep, sails over my head.
Yeah, well, Lon, entire Navy sail over your head.
I suppose that it's fine as long as you're taking it with a grain of salt, but do allow me to add a word of caution. You see, while this library contains every ancient book you can imagine, not one of them mentions anything about a Crimson Prophecy.
Wow. So even with all these books, you're still missing one?
No. Anything old enough to be called a proper prophecy would have to be in our archives.
Huh? Then why isn't it?
Indeed. I'm certain there's a good explanation, which we just aren't thinking of.
Hey, Sid, since the town's got one of those anchor things, doesn't that mean you guys are a part of the Federation now?
Really? That would certainly be news to me.
Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean? As far as I know, we drove those yahoos off. Whatever it was they thought they were selling.
So then what? They took over Tometown by force?
Huh? So the vampires were all part of some bigger the plan?
What? Oh, no. They would never. Yes, they would! When did the Federation become such thugs?
You mean it wasn't like that before?
Oh, well, they were certainly very coercive, but I've never heard of anything quite like this.
Well, we have. Bahamut sent a whole horde of goblins to invade Cornelia.
Really? Well, you don't say. That's just a little bit unsettling. You do know those monocles you got there? I invented those some years ago.
What?
Wow, dude!
This was back before I got my new body. I was on a grand adventure to find new books, and I noticed that the towns I visited had just the strangest spatial distortions. I naturally suspected the presence of hidden bookshops.
For the record, that's not normal.
Well, anyway, I decided to make a lens that corrected the distortions. And when I saw a whopping no bookshops and a bunch of weird chains, I made a sad face and gave my dear monocle away.
How much of a bibbidi-file are you, anyway?
Later, someone asked how to make the lenses, so I generously passed the wisdom on.
And I guess those models found their way to Charlotta's Inn.
If you don't mind, I am very busy reading.
You know, I meant to ask, how did you end up working here with Sid?
Let's just say Sid and I go back a long way. He's the one who hired me to protect Hometown. Of course, now, I stay for other reasons. Someone has to make sure he stays out of trouble. Over half the junk you saw in the train graveyard is stuff Sid destroyed on one of his rampages.
Wow, dude! I was wondering how it got piled up. That was Sid?
His mind shuts down, and he becomes a pathological collector who attacks anything he sets his sights on. There's no pattern to his targets, so he poses a real danger.
That sounds pretty rough.
So you see, someone has to keep an eye on him, or there's no telling what sort of damage he might do. Come by and visit whenever you like.
What's the password? That's right. How did you know that? Well, don't tell anyone else. Here, I'll give you this if you keep it under your hat. What's the password? That's right. What? That...
Ever heard of death magic? Scary. Ever heard of death magic? It can KO you in one shot. No matter. Scary stuff.
Hey, you there! Do you have a minute? I've got a little request. See, there's been a mirage infestation in the train graveyard. Is there any chance you could take care of them? You'll do it? Oh, all you have to...
Chapter 18. The Fell Spell and the Quacho Queen.